the way things have gone, I was, like we were saying, I went to college in the 60s.
Yeah.
And we had such a utopian narrative about the history to come. It was going to be the age of Aquarius. The Beatles came to India. We were all. If anyone had told me then, now 50 years later, that this is where we wound up, it is like,
right?
well, it's sort of like a kind of fever dream or a mad nightmare.
What went wrong?
What went wrong? Well, I blame our generation. I think the boomers, the baby boomers, are the ones that sold out. I mean, they had all this idealism and progressive ideas and faith in equality and so on. But then they got very distracted by I don't know, yoga and self-care and buying country houses and, basically living it up, becoming very self-indulgent. In the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, that generation was living high on the hog. We were all making good money. We had power, like those of us who were in academia. We were kind of controlling the discourse, and there was just this false sense of, of everything's okay. But meanwhile, we weren't actually working on the things that we had identified as the most important, to keep on struggling with, namely social and racial and gender equality. Not to mention, I mean, in America, I don't know if they ever were very conscious of American imperialism and the havoc it wreaks all over the world. But, that's all I saw this play by Mike Bartlett, he's a British playwright. And, he's kind of one of these guys, an unflinching view of how things have unfolded. And it's a play called Love, Love, Love. And it's 3 acts, and each act, so the first act is the 60s, and so it's that kind of scene, and it's free love, and everyone's hopeful and excited, everything's going to be wonderful. Then the second act was, I guess, the 80s, and the same characters, and then the final act was in the 200s. And it was the last act was sort of dominated by the children of those boomers. And these children were so fucked up and so angry and so debilitated, I mean, just so useless. Because they were saying to their parents, you just lied to us about the world and you lied to us about ourselves. But it's like such a cringing thing to watch for people of my generation. All of us sitting there going, ouch!
It hit you where it hurts.
Yeah. And and at that point I just felt like one couldn't deny that anymore. You always sort of knew it. And now they have this thing here where people say, okay, boomer. Have you heard this?
Yeah, I've heard it.
I think it means something like, you guys have had your day and had your say, and just shut up. But it's partly, basically what it is the recognition of this failure that I'm talking about. That this was a generation that promised to change the world in very, kind of beautiful ways as far as justice, equality, all those things, and then completely fell asleep on the job. And started getting massages and going on eco holidays and buying yachts and.
I'm a butterfly, taking my time. I'm a skeleton.